So in this segment, we're going to be talking about the UK facing a summer of disruption when it comes to milk supplies amongst the lorry driver shortage. So we kind of talked about how there was a massive sort of death of exports of cream and milk from the UK to sort of EU countries. And, you could be like, well, why don't we deliver those to British supermarkets? They can't because they don't have the drivers. So supermarkets could face a summer of disruption to milk deliveries if the government does not act to address a shortage of lorry drivers, the boss of the UK's biggest dairy supplier has said. So, I'm a guy who puts milk in his tea and has a bowl of cereal every morning. So if there's no milk in the shop, I'm going to be very upset. So don't do this to me, Boris. Arlo, which supplies milk to about 2,400 stores each day in the UK, has said it was unable to deliver to 600 stores last Saturday due to dwindling driving numbers. So they can't deliver it. Again, the shortage of lorry drivers is impacting so many sectors because lorry drivers are so important to kind of the agri-food sector and the manufacturing sector. They are the linchpin for these industries, and the British government fails to understand what's going on. So Ash, Arla, Ash, the managing director of Arla, said that the supplier has regularly struggled to deliver to 1 in 10 stores in recent weeks. So you're talking 10% of stores aren't having their products delivered. Like, that's horrible stuff for milk as well, which doesn't have a long shelf life. He told BBC's Radio 4's programme, "I think when you're not able to supply 10% of the stores which are expecting to get milk every day, I think that's quite worrying for a customer walking into a store and not being able to have milk. So we are taking it very seriously." Again, do not interrupt my breakfast, man. We've tried to avoid a summer of disruption. We are experiencing the problem getting worse, and that's why our assessment is that we are in a lorry driver shortage crisis. I mean, again, this is echoed by so many different industry chiefs. And therefore I am once again asking you, Bernie meme, asking for the industry and government to work together to recognise we are in a crisis and address the issue. Now, the industry has recognised there is an issue. The industry is trying to resolve it, but they can't do enough because they can't entice foreign drivers to come to the UK because of the UK's visa rules. And obviously, lorry driving being very expensive to get into in this country, that's the thing where industry are paying part of it. But, there are costs involved in this, and that's why they can't fund all of it, and that's why they're relying on the government. But that's more socialism. Arla said its third-party hauliers have raised wages to entice drivers, while it's also offered a £2,000 signing-on bonus. The Tesco, the UK's largest grocer, announced a £1,000 signing-on bonus for new drivers before September to help address the shortages. So all of the bigger companies are going to, sort of absorb all the drivers that are available, and they will compete for these drivers, which is great for them. But in terms of for the rest of the country and small businesses, they're going to struggle massively thanks to the government. So they want temporary visa changes to resolve the shortage in the short term, which it potentially could happen. I think it's in discussion, but we're seeing the army potentially being deployed as well, so who knows. Going into the summer with lots more holidays coming up, there is a short-term crisis, and we need to make sure we don't have food shortages in the summer. Well, hate to tell you, Chief, that's already happening. There is already a backlog of tests for HGV drivers, predicted about 30,000. We want the government to work with us to accelerate that. And secondly, we believe that drivers should be recognised as a skill shortage. I mean, this is stuff we mentioned before, the road hauliers assessment of the situation. So what we can see is that, another kind of industry is being impacted, the milk industry is being impacted, and that's going to affect a lot of people, seeing that milk is a staple food. It's generally a thing where, especially in Britain, you have it with your tea, and you have it with a lot of other kind of foods you'd have, especially for kids growing up. Having a lot of milk, it helps them to grow. So well done, Britain. Thatcher stole the milk from the kids. Boris Johnson stole the milk from the country. Anyways, I'm going to leave it there. Also, the fact that the farmers don't make a lot of money off milk in terms of per sale, it's normally they make a lot of money through volume, so it's going to impact them as well, but those guys knew what they voted for. Anyways, I'm going to leave it there. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.